Welcome to Audacity Marketing with Hazel Kimpo and Michelle Frechette. On this podcast, we'll challenge you to think differently and break free of the same old strategies. We'll push you out of your comfort zone and encourage you to think outside the box. So take notes, make bold decisions, and be audacious. Hey, Hazel.
Hello, Michelle. Happy to be here. Purple hair on both of us, as always.
I mean, it does kind of make us audacious, but
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I'm a child of the 80s. We had the word bodacious back then, like, whoa, bodacious. I'd rather be audacious. Thank you very much.
Bodacious is better than we had the bomb, which I the bomb never really worked because also you had to say the bomb, not the bomb, and
Yeah, and you never want to say it in an airport either. That's like for sure.
good point. Good point.
Sorry,
On
a
to
little
more
off channel.
modern slang, etc.
Yes. So one of the things of course we don't like not talk in between episodes. So we do talk a little bit. We start to prep things. And I was thinking with all of the Black Friday sales and things that are going on, we talked about Black Friday a couple episodes ago and Black Friday marketing. It really got me thinking about the different marketing channels that we use. And when I started working with you a few years back, you were the first person that really introduced me to how to use customer avatars as to determine how to do marketing and how to market within specific channels, especially, right? And so, and as it pertains, to plugins is how we were doing it, right? But it pertains to everything.
Absolutely.
No matter who you are, no matter what you're selling to customers, and so those
Yep.
customers have different sets of needs to determining those avatars. So I mean, I hope I looked like I knew what you were talking about that first time, but I was like, oh yeah,
I
oh
know.
yeah,
Look at you. Look
oh
at poker face, Michelle.
yeah, Jordan. Oh yeah, Jordan. I know Jordan. And in the
I
back of my
remember
head,
Jordan. Oh my
I'm like,
gosh, look at that. Erased from my head, Jordan.
and I'm like, I saw the movie Avatar, but that has nothing to do with what she's talking about. So
Well, let's dive in. I will tell
yeah,
you one thing that I am big on as we go into all of this. When we talk about what a customer avatar, I'll use the word persona sometimes
yeah.
interchangeably. I like to have one for your primary customer. And I also am a huge believer, just as importantly, having one in your primary partner. Because there's a lot of partners out there that you deal with, and that amplifies the whole way that we grow and marketing that both me and Michelle work on with community-based marketing. So I like to have an avatar for your customer and for your personas. That
And
said,
And
yeah, go ahead.
So when you first introduced that concept, like little bells were ringing in the back of my head of I've kind of done that in the past, but didn't know what it was. So
Mm-hmm.
when I was freelancing and building websites for people, I met with a chiropractor. And I said to the chiropractor, who's your primary, who's your primary
Yep.
customer? And they said athletes. And I was in their office with them and I looked around and 80% of the people or more that were there were blue-haired people. Like these were old people. They were slip and falls. They were slip discs. They were broken hips. I said, well, that may be who you want in here, but that's not who your customer base really is. And so as I was starting to apply like backwards some of the stuff that you had taught me, those are some of the things that kind of come up.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. That's exactly right. I think any website project, every web developer has that problem. They show up and it's like, well, who are you making this website for? And clearly it's everybody, right? Everybody wants to give me money. It's
Everybody.
everybody. Um,
Well,
I
that's
will say
expensive.
something. Yes, expensive. And I'll say some things that are not audacious when I see customer avatars. And when you look these up, you're going to find a customer. If you ever look up customer avatar or customer persona template, you're going to find several that look like this. You're going to see a grid with a picture of like a lady shopping. And then it's going to be like, she's in her 30s and she likes social media and she shops at Target. And then you're like, oh, that's the same as everybody. That's just a woman. like, like someone's
Wait,
like, oh,
does she want to do yoga too? Because I'm pretty sure that's
right.
also
Like,
her.
so it's I think when we think about it, it's really important to think the so what of it to your product, to what you're offering.
Mm-hmm.
So if it matters that this woman shops at Target and wears leggings, etc., to my business, well, then I'm probably going to dive in another layer deeper that isn't just frankly their gender. I just bring this up just because people think they have a persona when they've just like invented a woman. It's like that's just a woman.
Oh, I think we all know her.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, cool. I like how men, there's like all these diversified personas, and like then it's, oh, that's a woman. So point is, what's
Yeah.
audacious? I reference gender if it makes sense on mine. So I personally deal with a lot of clients that deal with like mental health, and a lot of they know that they're the gender of their customers often. If they're women or men, mental health stuff for these clients tends to be gendered. So main part of it. Tech solutions, not so much so, and it doesn't even matter. It's more solution based. And that's where we get into stuff. I'll tell you, I'm going to rattle off the things I like in a persona. Here's the things I like. I like giving them a name that's gender neutral, again, because it's really important to understand who this person is.
For example,
I like
Jordan.
understanding where they live. And I like to know, at a bare minimum, where they hang out online and offline. Like, that's what I need to know the most. And you can tell me where they hang out online and offline, and man, I can tell you a lot about that person.
Yeah.
Tell me what podcast you think they listen to, and I can tell you everything about that person.
Exactly. So when I think of like when I visualize this whole process, the avatar, the persona is the top of a bell curve. It doesn't mean that you can't be marketing and other people aren't going to buy your product, but the top of that bell curve, that middle section, the I can't remember terminology. So I'm trying to think back to math class, but
I know, the middle of the bell.
Yeah, the middle of the bell, not within like what 2 standard deviations. Did I say that right?
There we go.
And not so much the tails, right? So that's kind of like who that particular marketing target is.
Yeah, and I would say one project that you and I have worked really well together on this was, and a lot of folks in the SaaS area have this right now, of like, who is a person creating like a middleman who's like an agency creating products for someone else, and who's doing it themselves. And it's interesting, you and I worked on this in WordPress, but as like, I feel like we're in this age of entrepreneurship, as everybody can go spin up a little business here. It's come a common thing for, I'm seeing so many businesses, they're offering to like the middleman agency and then also to the doer, and understanding there's those personas is really important because they're different. And the trick and the cheat is, one of them, you can market to one of them while marketing to the other, but not the other way around.
Right. Exactly.
What I mean by that is, in this specific example, I could very easily market to the creator, and the agency will understand what I'm talking about very well. Now, I wouldn't talk about enterprise scale, those sorts of things, but they will certainly understand my product if I have any sort of tech product. And the only reason I know that is because we studied these personas so well, and we know that. And it's important.
Absolutely. You reminded me of a story from my past, Hazel, if you want to indulge me for a moment. About, oh gosh, it must have been at least 20 years ago, maybe 25. There was my daughter and I were living with my parents at the time because I was going to school and working full time. And so I would come home from work or come home from school, and we'd sit watch TV with them for a while before I do homework. That's another story. And there was this commercial that would come on all the time trying to sell a car. Don't remember the car, but there's a driver, and then there's a woman in the passenger seat, and there's techno music on the radio, and she's doing this pop and lock dance seated in the front seat of the car. I don't know if you remember that. It's like burned in my brain. And my mother said, I'll never forget, like the first time she said, "I hate this commercial." And I didn't say anything. Another week goes by. She's like, "I freaking hate this commercial." Like the third week goes by, and she's been saying how the commercial's like, obviously it's doing what it's supposed to do because they're still running this ad. And she says, "I would never buy that car. I hate the commercial so much." Now, at the point at that time, I'm in my MBA program in marketing. I turned to her, I go, "Mom, they don't care if you buy that car. They're not trying to sell you that car." She goes, "What do you mean? I buy cars." I go, "You are not their target audience. They don't care if you buy that car." Now, if a 60-something-year-old is sitting there, 50-something, 60-something is there, and like, "I like that car in spite of the music, I'm going to buy that car." Great. They made another sale. But you are not the person that ad is targeting.
That is really insightful. And in fact, I think that goes a lot to marketers, especially marketers who have to stand up to a boss, breathing down their neck about, marketing to this person or that person. The reason that good marketing works is because it picks some audiences and it shuns some others by nature. If it is for everybody, if nobody is saying, oh yeah, that is way above me, or that is just not my thing, then I think you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
There's too much stuff available in the world for you to try to be everything to everybody. And
absolutely.
you had that right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And mom, you are the person that is going to be playing 50s music on their ginormous Cadillac that doesn't fit in your garage. That is your persona. But yeah,
Exactly.
you can't be everything to everybody, and you have to decide who is the avatar, the persona that is the primary target. And then, like you said, have a secondary. That's fine. And market to one and include the other, but marketing to the other is definitely going to exclude your primary target.
Absolutely. And then just in closing, in action, you're going to see this. Like, I think it's important to have something easy and shareable with your team. An easy way to do this is a quick like PowerPoint. We have I use a bunch of chat GPT prompts these days to
You are the chat GPT queen. I love how you
yes,
use it.
I've been a real obsessed with it. And one of the keys is to read literally a script of like all about your business and what you know about your customer. In fact, the script that I wrote has a little meditation for you to start with of like, picture your customer and
I love
now
it.
tell me all the things about them. And from that, we can extrapolate. You can, if you tell that to AI, I'll share in our write-up of this episode a couple of really cool prompts that develop like, oh, this is what that customer probably likes. And this is the magic of chat GPT, because what it can do is infer based on some facts, it can infer the rest of the facts from the information of the world.
I love that. That's awesome. And if people are interested in learning more, because they could ask me, but I'm just going to refer them to you. How do they find you, Hazel? Because this is a great one that people might want to pick your brain about.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot with this, and you can even do a self-serve version of it on my site where you can do personas with just a voice input, and that's on theclever.io. Go ahead and check it out, and you can find me on LinkedIn as well. I can share with you a link there.
Fantastic. So absolutely. And if you missed that, we'll put it in the show notes. All you got to do is go to our website, audacitymarketing.com, and everything's there for you right there. I love it. I love that I continue to learn from you over time, and hopefully it goes both ways, because
And I was going to say, likewise, and your mom, it goes generational.
exactly. Wait till you hear what my daughter has to say. We'll bring her in next time. Anyway, thank you so much. This has been awesome. Hopefully everybody who's listening has gained something from this as well. If you have questions, things that you'd like us to talk about, let us know. Hit us up on any of our channels. Hit us up on a DM on our Twitter account at Audacity MKTG. I say Twitter, X, whatever. Anyway.
I've been hanging out on Threads lately. Side note.
I have not gotten into it yet, but I mean, I have an account, but I haven't really done much with it. Maybe
Everything comes full circle with Zuckerberg, I guess.
I guess so, for sure. He's a persona of his own. He is an avatar of one. Anyway.
On that note,
we'll see y'all next time. Have a good one. Be audacious. This has been Michelle Rochette and Hazel Kimpo with Audacity Marketing. Dare to be different and dominate your market with Audacity.